So every single person, all of us, walked into this beautiful amphitheater here today with preconceived ideas, myths about life of every single possible topic, about what it takes to be successful in business, about what it takes to have a successful marriage, what are the criteria for happiness, maybe even preconceived ideas about what's the ideas that this guy with the funny South African accent standing on the red dot is going to share with us today. But my friends, what if I were to tell you that some of the most popular, most universally accepted myths about life are not true? I'll go even further. Not only are some of these myths, preconceived ideas not true, they are the very reason why many people are disillusioned, or why there's anxiety, or why there's stress, why there are millions of people that are leading lives of quiet desperation. Now, it's pretty audacious for me to fly all the way from Los Angeles to stand on the red dot here in London and make a statement like that, unless I was confident. I'm not only confident, I'm 100% sure that that statement is correct. There's two reasons. Reason number one, for the past roughly 25 years of my life, I've worked very closely and represented the most famous people in the world of professional sport, some of the biggest celebrities on planet Earth, and certainly some of the wealthiest families in the world. Pop culture wants us to believe that fame and fortune results in happiness and a life devoid of pain. My friends, I know these people not only as clients, but many have become friends. And I can say much to my chagrin that that is bunk. It's not true. Many of these famous people, believe me, would be loved to be in the audience today, listening to this amazing TED Talk, rather than trying to placate and accolades to all of their fans. The second reason why I'm 100% confident that that statement is correct is very personal. I've never said this before in public, but if I don't say this on the world stage at TEDx, I don't know when I'm going to say this. Let me give you a little bit of background to this life-jolting experience which made me feel comfortable to make that representation. So I grew up in South Africa, tremendous family, a lot of love, a lot of self-esteem, but more modest in terms of my financial sort of economic background. There was a certain program that I wanted to complete at Harvard, and I realized in order to attain that goal, that dream, that I would have to certainly be one of the top students for many years. And thankfully, I maintained a level of certain scholastic excellence. And there I was. It was May 1990. Blue skies. Cambridge, Massachusetts. I just graduated from Harvard Law School. Big man on campus. Class representative, law school counsel. Jobs were being thrown at me. And then I had a jolting experience. You see, my friends, I thought that if you script out your life and you focus and you do the best you can, your life pretty much happens according to the script. So here's where the wheels completely came off. I flew out to a wedding event in Los Angeles. I was asked to say a few words. The mother of the bride said to me after I said some welcome remarks, "Antony, are you feeling okay?" And so as it happened, I had a mild cold. I was burning the candle. So I said, "Rita, I'm fine. I have a scratchy throat." So she looked me straight in the face, and she said, "Antony, go right now to the hospital." So that's a little bit bizarre. I'm a big believer in a woman's intuition. I'm not going to question that. This is the mother of the bride. Went to hospital. In the course of a routine medical exam, they took a chest x-ray. I'm at my buddy's house the next day, sort of resting up. Here's the phone call that changed my life. As verbatim as I can possibly remember it, went something like this. Phone rings, I picked up the phone. Is this Antony Gordon? I had to concede. Yes, this is Antony. So here's the sentence that I fielded. This is Dr. So-and-so from so-and-so hospital. We're looking at your chest x-ray. We see like a tumor type image on the chest x-ray. We think you have cancer. Do you have medical insurance? About 24 years old. I'm alone in the world. I was alone in the house. That's the call that I fielded. So unless you've got ice in your veins or you're a psychopath, that's going to be a pretty jolting call. So I did what I think most people in this room would do. I began a dialogue with God, if you will, on a very primitive, visceral level. So here's what I said. I said, God, I'm not ready to check out. It's been too hard. I've got you. I'm ready to start my journey. So here's the deal between us girls. Make this thing go away. Whatever this thing is, make it go away. And I, in turn, will dedicate my life to focusing on certain things that people believe that they rely on to make their biggest life decisions, and see if they're authentic, are they real? And if not, I'm going to dedicate my life to really dispelling a lot of the pop culture isms, if you will. So today is really the zenith of that journey. There are many things that I've come to realize that we harbor and embrace that are not true. In the interest of time, we only have one myth that we're going to unpack, dispel today, and answer the question, which is the topic of my TED Talk, what's the one thing that you can do to live a happier life? But before we do that, there's another question we all need to ask. How is it that millions of people believe these isms, these preconceived ideas? So my friends, I can tell you, there are industries out there that have a tremendous financial backing, that have a vested interest in ensuring that these myths are perpetuated or be them erroneous. Here's one of the strategies, and one of the industries, by the way, is the entertainment industry that I'm part of. So one of the strategies that some of these industries use to perpetuate this falsehood is called the illusory truth effect. The best way to understand the illusory truth effect is by illustration. So here's what we're going to do. At the count of 3, all I want you guys to do, hopefully in unison, is say the word silk, S-I-L-K, 7 times. Okay, at the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Silk, 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 silk. Excellent. Okay, and what do cows drink? So cows drink water. Now why is it that most people have a knee-jerk reaction to blurt out milk? So one of the things of the illusory truth effect is if you repeat something 3 or 4 times, hopefully from a reliable source, we tend to drop our critical way of thinking. We become like automatons, and we become like passive repositories, and we just basically embrace anything that comes our way. It's a very dangerous thing. So now that we know that there's strategies out there, we also know that there are things out there that are not only wrong, but they are causing misery and unhappiness to people. Let's unpack the myth that we're going to use today as our pedagogical lesson, which is a happy life is a pain-free life. Let's take the first concept of happiness. So here's what pop culture has done. They've conflated 2 concepts that are completely separate and different. They've conflated the concept of fun and happiness. So I'm going to illustrate to you guys how different fun and happiness really is. I'm going to give you a scenario. I just want you to tell me whether I'm describing something that's fun or is this happiness. We finish our TED Talk today, 20 minutes standing ovation. We all go out to the amusement center, cotton candy, roller coaster, fun or happiness? Clearly that's fun. A week and a half ago, I walked my son down the aisle to get married. It's my beautiful new daughter-in-law, Kiki. After about 3 steps down the aisle, the tear that welled up in my eye became a full-blown bawling. I saw the panoramic view of my son's life. This beautiful little kid. I saw his 5-year-old, 6-year-old, the first time I taught him how to ride a bicycle, the troubled teens, a lot of the pain and the investment that any decent parent puts in. Were those tears of fun or were those tears of happiness? Those are tears of happiness. What's the difference? Fun is ephemeral. It's transient. Here today, gone tomorrow. Happiness touches the soul. Happiness touches meaning. You can never, ever live this journey called life and have a happy life if you focused on having fun. The first time I ever in my life heard the concept, have fun, was when I came to America. I've never heard that concept before. It's a bizarre thing, have fun. So happiness and fun, we know, are very different. What's the price you pay for happiness, or we maybe can interchange that for greatness or success? It's pain. So let's pivot to the second part of our idiom, pain. Here's where the rubber meets the road, my friends. Pop culture wants us to think that pain is bad. Pop culture, even worse than that, wants us to think that the antithesis of pain is something that it's not. What if I were to ask you guys, what's the opposite of pain? What would you say? So that's the answer I get all the time, pleasure. My friends, the opposite of pain is not pleasure, it's having no pain. If you're focusing on a world where pain is bad, and the opposite of pain is pleasure, you can understand why we have an entire generation out there that are doing everything and anything possible to neutralize pain. Be it surfing the internet, substance abuse, pornography. These are all forms of trying to neutralize or mute this concept called pain, because pain is either bad or the opposite of pain is pleasure. It's a very scary thing. Let's hold and let's summarize where we're up to before we can really get a sense of conclusion to the final point of what's the one thing we can all do to leave this hall for the rest of our lives with a tool for living to live a happier life. So I walked on stage today and I said that we all have preconceived ideas. I said not only are these preconceived ideas erroneous, some of these preconceived ideas are the exact reason why people have anxiety, pressure, and are living lives of quite desperation. I hopefully outlined 2 reasons why I feel completely comfortable and confident to say that what I said is true. Our company represents some of the most renowned athletes on planet Earth, celebrities that you all know, and certainly some of the wealthiest families. I know these people firsthand. They are certainly not living a life of bliss and a painless life. I then hopefully spoke about a personal story in my life, where I thought that the script of life, because that's what pop culture taught me, you work hard, you stick to the script, and things happen according to plan. Obviously, I went off script when I was misdiagnosed with cancer. We then said, how do we possibly just embrace this? Why are we just drinking this Kool-Aid? Because there's strategies out there we discussed called the illusory truth effect. We then took the idiom, a happy life is a pain-free life. We unpacked it. We said pop culture has conflated happiness and fun. And pop culture has also inculcated into our mind's eye the fact that pain is either bad or the opposite of pain is pleasure. Here's the result. The result, and I know this because we represent amongst the biggest influencers in the world. You have many people in Gen Z and the millennial generation that are doing everything and anything to avoid pain, and at best are leading a life of mediocrity. It's very scary because anything that pushes the envelope, anything that will cause pain or discomfort is something that's taboo. Here's the logical corollary, which I don't want anyone in this hall to do. People are delaying their lives because they have a storm. They've got pain in their life. We all walked in here with preconceived ideas, my friends. We also all walked in here, every single one of us, with pain, with some kind of suffering in our lives. The notion that you should wait till the suffering dissipates, that if I had this, if I had different parents, or if I had different, that's what's causing a tremendous amount of people to be confused. If is the middle 2 letters of the word life. Life breaks all of us, but we are strongest in the broken parts. It's not despite the pain, despite the discomfort. It's because of that you're going to achieve your excellence, your mission in this world. No one is sent into this world for mediocrity. You're all sent into this world for excellence. And so what I don't want you to do, and the purpose really of my discussion today is, don't wait till the storm subsides. And you're going to wake up, and there's going to be 10 million pounds in the bank. Every single one of your relationships is going to be perfect. There's going to be nothing wrong with your family. That's an optical illusion. And pop culture wants you to believe something that doesn't exist. My friends, we are not in this world to wait for the storm to subside. We are here to dance in the rain. Thank you.